Am I worthy to shine with uncreated light? It was Christ, said St. George Karslides. Now, we have seen Christian Orthodox priests. I myself have seen the abbot of the monastery of Mout, which is about an hour's ride north of Athens. During Holy Liturgy one Saturday morning, he was performing the Holy Liturgy with another priest, and I slowly saw his body turning into uncreated light, being filled with uncreated light from the head up to his feet, down to his feet, whereas everybody else was, of course, normal looking. And when I went home and opened up the Holy Bible by chance, as our church tells us to do, the passage that fell said this. It said, if you think that that was something special, that's nothing compared to what I have to give you from my gifts, from my treasure box, treasure chest of graces, divine graces. And then he said, ask for me to give you my gifts from my divine graces from my treasure chest. Now, who knows how many other gifts Christ has to give us? But this is the uncreated light with which he was filled during his transfiguration at Mount Tabor. And it's not just for him, it's also for us. To be able to see this and to be filled with this is reaching divine union with Christ according to what our Holy Fathers tell us. So this is the transfiguration icon of our Lord Jesus Christ. It's, of course, it's a huge mural in a church, but he's flanked by the prophet St. Moses and the prophet Isaiah with his three disciples below his feet. But this is what the icon has him looking at in uncreated light. And this is for everyone to achieve, being in this holy sacraments of the Christian Orthodox Church. Now, also there was St. George Karslides, who was seen being filled with this uncreated light. He says, I am not worthy to shine. It was Christ in me. A young man then lived it was the holy George Karslides, who is now a saint. He was a minister and very spiritual. His description is unparalleled, which is why we quote it in its entirety. This is what it said. One Sunday morning, still dark, we got up for divine liturgy. The elder, by the grace of the all-good God, again, all luminous, shone. I cannot describe to you what I saw. It was flying. He didn't step on the ground. I was sitting behind the pew looking at the sanctuary and the icons of the iconostasis. I saw the image of the Virgin Mary with tears in her eyes. I couldn't believe my eyes. I looked at the picture again, and tears kept flowing, but I didn't say anything to anyone. The elder was functioning, but was clearly in another world. He was not stepping on the ground. He was shining, and the whole environment was full of light, and yet there were no other lights but the candles. I was completely lost with all that I was seeing. And when it was time for Holy Communion, the elder went out to the beautiful gate. The churchgoers took turns, one behind the other. They were about to take Holy Communion, so they line up. The elder during Holy Communion did not speak to anyone. He only made meanings. It was the turn of a certain lady whom he could not share. He was holding the holy chalice, and his brow was sweating. He mentioned her to step aside for the next one to come and take Holy Communion. It was the first time I saw all this, and I could not believe my eyes. I will have this image in front of me, and I will not forget it as long as I am in this life, the writer said. A pilgrim once dared to approach the elder after a divine liturgy and tell him about this glow that she saw him spread over his face. And the saint answered her modestly in a low voice, Am I worthy to shine? It was Christ. May the radiance of Christ fall on me. Another time, during the dismissal of the divine liturgy, the elder, due to his height and the low iconostasis, was directly below the icon with the holy shroud that was above the beautiful gate. Everyone then marveled at how the elder looked so much like Christ. A woman had the courage to tell him, and he, clearly disturbed, scolded her and monologued, Lord have mercy, who am I to be like Christ? Father Haralambos Anastasiadis notes that he was also deeply impressed by the fact that the elder had a different face in everyday life and another as a minister. But when the image of the Lord has been imprinted on the soul, man becomes beautiful and shines. From the book Holy George of Drama, The Saint of the Poor and the Suffering, published by the Holy Monastery of the Ascension of our Lord Christ in Drama. And I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.